As we saw on Wednesday, one of the better dynamites we've seen in quite some time, and I think arguably, based on a lot of the reactions I've seen online, one of the best ladder matches of all time that we've ever seen with Cody and Sammy Guevara. I reacted live to that right here, and I was losing my mind during some of those spots. I've never seen a match where every single high spot was pulled off to perfection. And that top of the ladder cutter is the damnedest thing I've ever seen. It was so graceful, so smooth, the way he came off that ladder and nailed Cody with it. Obviously, that is a bump of a lifetime. Sammy shouldn't be doing that in every match or anything, but that was just an amazing display, and some of the spots in that match were incredible, and I wasn't expecting Sammy to win, but he did. And then in the main event, of course, we saw Cassidy defeat Adam Cole, so Adam Cole's in the main event of a Dynamite. And based that this was a non-sanctioned match, and he's still undefeated, I think he's going to be Hangman Page's opponent at Revolution. You still have fans that think that Adam Cole made the worst decision of his life by going to AEW because he's buried now. Because if he would have gone to the red or blue brand, Raw or SmackDown, things would have been so much better. Could you imagine an Adam Cole, Baron Corbin, and Madcap Moss segment? Ooh, bring in the ratings, baby. My God. The fact that Adam Cole did not win the AEW title 25 seconds after walking in the door is not that concerning to me. But in that match, we also saw Danhausen hanging out underneath the ring. He filled out a job application with A&W, and it was brilliantly well written and very professional and very evil. And they finally hired him. And of course, a lot of people have a huge problem with this too, because they don't know how to have any fun and they've never touched grass or a tit or anything. So I found it hilarious, and it got the highest performing tweet I've ever had. That I sent out yesterday is that the people who complain that AEW only signs WWE guys, they want to know who Danhausen is, just like they want to know who Brody King is, just how they want to know who anybody is that's not from WWE. They say that AEW only hires WWE guys, but then make fun of them when they don't. So you can't win with these people. I found it ridiculous. Danhausen isn't there to wrestle in the main event of All Out against Bryan Danielson for the title. That's not what he's there to do. Danhausen is a guy that deserves a shit ton of credit because he has gotten himself over. I've only seen like 2 matches of Danhausen's in my life, and one of them took place in a bar where he's standing on the bar and he's kicking guys to the tequila song. The other one was in the ring, and he was doing more goofy shit than he was anything else. Danhausen is there to be a fun part of the wrestling show. I'm sure they will put him in situations that might force him to be a little bit more serious, kind of like they did with Orange Cassidy and stuff. But overall, I think he's going to be a little bit of comic relief. I think he's done a great job kind of developing his persona and getting himself over where everybody has taken notice to him. If you don't watch any Ring of Honor or anywhere else he worked, you've probably seen his likeness somewhere around social media. He sells a shit ton of merchandise, and he's going to sell a ton of it for AEW. You watch, he's going to be one of their top merch sellers. Bringing him in was absolutely the right call. It's a good move to make. He's probably not getting millions and millions of dollars or anything, and he's probably there to be the Santino Marella, the comic relief, something that's existed in wrestling forever. Back in WWE days, you had fucking Uncle Elmer, and you had even babyface Animal Steel. Like late 80s Animal Steel was a complete goof. He was just there to be weird and goofy. He was never really a big threat to a title. He was somebody that the fans kind of liked, enjoyed to see, might get a chuckle out of you or whatever, and that's all Danhausen is there to do. So I think that's great. I think he's going to add a lot of fun to the show and a different dynamic, because we really haven't seen a character like him. He's extremely difficult to describe. So if you have no idea who Danhausen is, that's pretty much a good way to describe him, is that he's hard to describe. So to even have an issue with this, to even complain like an asshole, is just, I don't understand how these broke fucking losers who are begging for money on Twitter can get pissed that somebody else got a job and is finding success. It is absolutely hysterical to me, the way fans act, especially about something like that, and all the hate that has come his way that's completely unfounded. Bitch, why don't you try to get yourself a job in the wrestling business? And before you criticize others, I think Danhausen did something that's very, very unique. He got his name out there. He got recognized. He created buzz, and he was selling merchandise without working for any major wrestling promotion. That's commendable. So anyway, welcome to AEW, Danhausen.